Hello and welcome back to Chat About It, Don't Shout About It with me, Rachel, the Queen of the Woke, as crowned by one of my haters. Do you remember in the last few weeks, I've asked about Josh Seiter? I've asked if he was trolling or if he was joking because it was crazy and absolutely barbaric. Well, the general consensus of my audience was that he was trolling. Well, as of yesterday, we finally got that answer. Josh appeared on prime time with Alex Stein to admit that this was just a giant ruse, a social experiment, a troll. Now, I'm not in the least bit surprised. I've linked the full video below so that you can see it for yourself. I recommend to watch it because what they both have to say is actually very, very interesting. And I think that Josh should really go on the debate circuit here. Now, this is the moment where he admits that it was a facade.
Well, I gotta be honest. For the last 5 months, I've been conducting a social experiment online to expose how gullible and how delusional the left is.
So there you go. He conducted a social experiment to prove how gullible and delusional the left are. Now, I don't think it's entirely fair to say that the entirety of the left are gullible and delusional. A lot of them do actually understand about biology and acknowledge that it exists and things like that. I'm pleased to hear him say that it was a social experiment. However, I also hope at the same time it does not actually reflect badly on trans people with crippling gender dysphoria. Now, you may say to me that, Rachel, some of your responses were addressed directly at him. Well, yes, they were. But if you actually watch the videos very closely, I never referred to Josh as she. I only used his name because everything he was saying was so barbaric that I never believed him. And everything I responded to was always rooted in biology anyway. So even if someone who is very invested in gender ideologies and self-ID came along, they would actually see what I have to say about biology and self-ID. Although I do stand by what I said, I genuinely think that men should actually try a period cramp simulator. I really do. The only thing that I didn't fully agree on with what they were saying was actually about Buck Angel in that video with Josh and Alex. I recommend watching the full video for the information as to what they said because I don't want to take that away from Alex Stein. That would be unfair. But I will say this with regards to Buck Angel. Buck does not consider himself part of the movement that is actually happening today, from what I've been able to understand from watching his videos with the new definition of trans. He's a transsexual, not transgender. He's never denied his biology, as far as I'm aware, and he certainly doesn't do it in his videos. He thinks that children should be outright left alone and has spent a lot of time calling out the trans and gender ideology movement. He, like many others, just doesn't agree with what's going on. And I also think that ideologies mock people with gender dysphoria. It must be incredibly hard having something like gender dysphoria. I couldn't imagine what that would be like. Now, that being said, like myself, a lot of people didn't believe Josh, and a lot of the comments on his profiles look like this. I even tried to find ones of those in favor of him, but they were few and far in between. Now, these came from TikTok and Instagram. Now, I'm a woman. Since when? You know absolutely nothing about being trans. I honestly feel like this is taking the PISS take to get views, money, etc. Stop trying to find your new 5 minutes of fame. You had it. The way he sits completely gives this away as sarcasm. OMG, this is getting ridiculous. This guy is trolling. As a woman, we are always aware of men in any form in our bathrooms. Insult to women. Listen, guys, we are all gonna one day. And if this is what makes her happy at the moment, then let her live. Stop judging what people are going through so harshly. Live and let live. How's the legal name change going, Jay? And are you on HRT? Now I'm so excited for your journey. It's outstanding to read comments from our community that criticize your journey and compare it to themselves or others. Your journey is just that, yours. Anyone saying otherwise is just projecting their own wounds, insecurities onto you. You are exactly where you need to be. All the haters can spin their wheel and spit in their hate. Wow. Keep doing you, Jay. You are awesome. Love the high collar top. Really makes your face pop, girl. Okay, so this next one is actually quite diplomatic. You're beautiful. I'm in full of support of anyone that just wants to be their comfortable self. But to be honest, it's offensive to hear someone that was born as a man act like they understand all that a biological woman has gone through and take that history as their own when it hasn't been earned. I understand you have your own journey, but there should be some underlying respect for the fact that there's things you cannot possibly experience. Write your own story, and there's no need to compare. No hate whatsoever because you deserve happiness, but it's just highly offensive towards biological women. And then this next comment, I do not condone. Don't ever do anything like this, please. He needs to be cancelled. You can tell he's an insecure white male that is triggered by trans women. He's using his platform to fearmonger and create hate. He was on the show The Bachelor before. So please don't engage in cancel culture. Cancel culture can just go do one. And please, obviously, do not go sending hate to any other people that get mentioned in this video with their comments on the screen. Now, since the segment with Alex Stein has gone viral, Josh has actually responded and made these specific posts. I make no apologizing for satirizing and lampooning something to prevent the left from erasing women and pushing them out of their safe spaces. It's a small price to pay for all the real wonderful women out there that bring life into this world, unlike trans women. Trans mob. Only we can be fakers and pretenders. If we do it, we deserve praise. If you do it, you're a bigot. Everyone needs to stop tiptoeing around the woke mob's delusions. Stop making their science fiction your reality. And this is what people have responded with, and this time the activists were much more apparent. Both of you need to be arrested for mocking trans women. I'm low key sad if he stops doing it. He was such a good representation for trans women. I actually think that one might be a bit of satire there. Julie Andrews did it better. Okay, I'll take that one. She did do it better. No one can get over Queen Julie, okay? Nope, I knew he was lying the whole time. I have trans friends who really deal with GD, and you have put people I care about in danger. I'm truly disgusted by this game you played. Stop using our community for clout, piece of trash. Just because you're not interesting enough on your own, honestly, more fool me for believing you. Get effed, eat nails. Wow. Josh Seiter is a POS with a pulse. He doesn't understand or empathize with the trans community, and he certainly doesn't speak for them. He's a hate monger and a bigot. And also, of course, Pink News had their say. They believe his social experiment was a pointless one. So these are just some clipped quotes. You can go and read the article for yourself. It's linked below. Seiter's self-assessed venture into the grim pits of social experimentation instead reveals what the LGBTQ plus community already knew and didn't need another reminder of. People like this are really weird. What he's missing in all of this is that trans people owe him nothing. Neither do their friends, allies, or family who choose to stay in their lives and support them. Seiter's warped standards for what it means to be a woman, cis, or trans mean nothing. They're worse than nothing. They are the acts of a desperate man clutching to any fleeting piece of fame or attention he can possibly grasp. You're bothered that he's right, so it makes him weird? Okay, maybe it was attention seeking in addition to this social experiment. It's clever because it got people talking about him whilst highlighting absurdities based in self ID. He's not said gender dysphoria is fake or anything like that. He's acknowledged that it's real in the interview that he did with Alex Stein and that people who have it actually need to be treated. So he doesn't deny it. Well, anyway, he responded with this. Yes, you do. You owe it to everyone to stay out of women's sports, women's bathrooms, and other safe spaces designated for women. Aren't you people obsessed with consent? We don't consent to your invasion. Now, I've said this before, and I'll say it again, that there should be bathrooms and changing rooms for trans people. There really should. They should be separate, okay? So I stand by that. And people with real gender dysphoria need to do what they need to do in order to treat themselves. I'm no medical professional and I don't have gender dysphoria. So I can't begin to imagine what that's like. And I have respect for trans people who remain grounded and remember biology, get on with their lives and question the authenticity behind ideologies like self ID. Now, Josh has proved something else with this. I don't know if he'll ever see this video, and I don't know if he's actually noticed that he has proved this other thing that I'm going to talk about now. I think that what this social experiment has actually also highlighted is that the gender ideology movement of self ID has put a lot of biological women on tenterhooks. Even with me, to a degree, with what Josh was posting, made me go on to tenterhooks, and I didn't believe him. So, a lot of the comments and the responses that I've read whilst researching for this video have also proved that things have gone way too far and it shouldn't have gotten that way to begin with. And maybe this just highlights that things need to be reevaluated. Anyway, let me know what you think. Chat about it, don't shout about it. Like the video if you would like to like the video. Subscribe if you would like to. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you on Sunday at 4 p.m. Bye bye.